Maybe do you think, Aurelia, you could do us a sort of like take us through the demotic those three lines again? I don't know if that's yeah.
Oof, if I remember.
I have
Okay,
the
let's try.
transcription.
Let's try.
I have the
So, oh,
transcription
you
as
have
well,
it.
so we can sort of look at it.
Easy
Yeah.
enough then. Yeah. But so it was Chenef, he commanded an. He also commanded Erjeba, which becomes Edway. So concerning whom? Concerning na enti, that's really an NTEU. Okay. So those who are NTEU. Hang on, now I'm a bit confused. I just want to simply copy from the left. Oh, from the right. So that makes sense though. That is an E. Yeah. RE. It's a bit confusing with the little stroke under
Ah,
the E. So
mm,
those who come, hun
mm,
remich, among the people, Kenken or Kenken, which would be, I think, fighting, something of that nature, right?
yeah.
So, concerning the people which came basically fighting, something of that nature, Irim, Pasep, and the rest, Irim, Pasep, Remich, the rest of the people, Ir Shoem, Cheper, I want to say Shope, um,
Mm,
those who are Cherketket, Cherketket what? Meet under another path, no, upon another path, literally. Um,
mm,
Another path of what? En pa, I have to cheat, what was that? Technisch. Um, of disturbance, rebellion, unrest. Um, Eir, and then we have to scroll a little bit.
yeah. Sorry.
Ir Reper Kemi. And we already established there has to be an N in between. Being in Egypt. Okay. So far we've talked about people who were either combatants or otherwise involved in unrest in Egypt. So we're talking basically about the big rebellion, which has been going on for well over a decade. Let's keep going.
Mm,
D, to give, and then something's missing.
mm,
Then it goes on. I'm going to skip that part with the saute. And
yeah.
then there's a set, it, um, Nayu, their Ma'au, their places, M2, which is the conjunctive, Nayu, naked, their things, um, Scheper, Ichrau, being upon them. So basically, what that is trying to say is that their well, both their place of, I'm assuming their place of abode, so wherever they live, plus their possessions will remain with them. And the
Mm,
opposite of that would be, of course, that you say we're going to enslave them all, and yeah, basically have them do forced labor, which we're not going to do. Instead, there's essentially an amnesty, at least for domestic combatants, which
mm,
is interesting.
yeah. Really nice. So the thing that the Spiegelberg puts in here then is Sechati U, um, which becomes which in demotic then means to withdraw or to return, so that he causes their sort of return. Um, I imagine then.
So to
But it,
return them, that makes sense actually.
yeah, right.
Because I was just
To
thinking,
their places.
how does this work grammatically? Because you have a Sejm F at the beginning, Chenef S at the very beginning. So he commanded, which is just simple past tense there with a dummy object S. And then comes along Jeba, blah, 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 blah. Two lines basically of what kind of people we're talking about. And then comes an erdit to let, to give, to cause. And then you need some kind of verb, right? So having that to be that they be returned or that they return or something of that nature would make some sense.
Right.
So to their places. But then the one thing I don't get, to be completely frank here, is oh no, I get it. I get it. That makes some sense. There's a conjunctive in there, an M2,
Yeah.
which also needs a verb. The conjunctive, at least in late Egyptian, normally serves to either continue a perspective or an imperative. Those are the most common use cases. And it needs another verb. So M2 something something, namely their things. Geper igrau. And their things to remain with them or should remain with them. That makes sense then. Okay, I get it. All
Nice.
right.
So we had several of these cheper in this sentence that sort of, I don't know, when we have adverbial clauses or something, they put a cheper in a way to, they were in Egypt, they were on the other side of the rebellion. Yeah, that's, I don't quite know how cheper works in that sense. But,
No, that is true. I'm wondering about that too. I mean, that's almost like Coptic already. If you say Ketchet mieten pa techtisch, so nochmal, one more time. Irem pa sepremic ir heper cher ketket mieten pa techtisch. Ir Chopin keme. That, I mean, I could see a Chopin there in Coptic, I think. That could work.
okay.
Who are being in Egypt. Do we have, I don't think we have Randy on the line. He's our
Now that's,
most
I don't
fluent
think
Coptic
so.
speaker here, but I could see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. One thing is that ir is, as far as I understand, always past tense. So, I don't know. And the other people that had been on the other side of the rebellion, that took place in Egypt. So I don't know why they're speaking in the past, but sort of grammatically they are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we also went through this one last time. The brief is quite okay, I think. Yeah. So he ordered again to cause their things maybe to remain under them. Yeah. Okay. And then I was thinking, if Anastasia, now you can do let's do the Greek one more time, because that when we had very little time last time when we went through that. So
yes. So the backbone of the construction in Greek is the verb prosetaxen, and then we have the dekai that we have seen before, and then we've got an infinitive construction with its subject being a participle with an article. So tous καταπορευομένους, those who went down, in a sense, they went to exile, they went away. And then the infinitive is menen, to remain. We are at the very end now. Επί των ιδίων κτήσεων, on their own properties. So to keep their own properties. And then we've got this temporal participle after they returned, κατελθόντας. So προσέταξεν καί τους καταπορευομένους, κατελθόντας μένειν επί των ιδίων κτήσεων. So that's the basics and the important thing in the construction. And then you've got this long bit that elaborates who these who were sent to exile, τους καταπορευομένους, who were they, from which groups do they come from. And you've got, so therefore, prepositional expressions with ek, they come from, and genitive, ek ton machimon, from those who could bear arms, those who were in fighting age, they had fighting capacity. And again, of the others, again, another genitive, of the others, phronesanton, we go to the participle, who thought otherwise. So ektonallonton phronesanton allotria, it means from the other groups who had other thoughts, so who were like dissenters. And then comes another prepositional expression that describes the time when this happened, en tois kerois. So we have a dative plural at times, kata tentarachen, and then this another prepositional expression that kind of is encased within this prepositional expression and belongs together, supplements it, kata tentarachen, during the rebellion. So tarache is rebellion, accusative, singular.
Okay.
Does this
Yes.
need more elaboration?
Well, if people have a question, they're welcome to answer. Yeah, it's a pretty, I think it's pretty good Greek. I don't know. It looks kind of elegant.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But it's complex and very sort of Russian dolls type of encasing. Yeah.
Yes, basically, if one removes all the prepositional expression, all the part from the ekton machimon, until kairois, then you get the bones of the construction, the skeleton, and then all the rest is elaboration of on to karta porevomenus.
What was katel again?
It is a participle plural accusative of the verb kateimi, which means to return, to come back.
Return.
So that's an aorist too, katelthon. This is very common also in classical Greek, that those who return from the exile, they are called katelthontas. They go away and then they come back.
Gotcha.
So that's quite contraintuitive, because like katelthontas, it would mean like going down. But it means return, coming back.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. And one thing we are missing is in Egypt part. So they're not translating the cheper in Kema. One thing that was pretty interesting about this verb sechat was the semantic shift. It has pretty distinct meaning in Middle Egyptian Demotic and in Coptic. So the original meaning, or the way they define it, is actually to pull or to drag. That is sort of secha originally, to bring about, to go past. And then in Demotic, it means to turn away or to withdraw. I don't know. I guess I should check a more sort of thorough dictionary, but those are kind of basic senses. And then sot in Coptic has this rescuing, redeeming, savior sense. I think we are somewhere. So we ended here actually. This was the this enket, cheper, cher, u under them, and then we start a new clause here. Anybody wants to try this? Maybe I should try and get this at the same time. No, that's wrong.
Katrin, do you want to, or should I? No? Right, I'll take a stab at it. So the first one is an iref, some kind of ligature. So an E with a long F tail. Iref with a long F tail.
Yes.
The next thing I can read pretty much alphabetically, Nebu. He took care. He took care, nebu neb, any kind of care, all care. The next one is tricky. So after the neb, that is an N and a D, I think. Maybe. Or an R and a D. An R, I mean. RD. He took care to give. To give what? Is that Shem, to go, to walk?
That's Shem.
It is Shem. It is Shem. Okay. All right. And the next one, I don't know. I mean, after Shem, there's something. It ends in people. It's nothing. Maybe.
Yeah,
Some kind of person.
this is army. It's Mesha.
Got it. It does not end in people. That is the next word, actually. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. It's Mesha. That is Mesha. Okay, so that's the sitting warrior, basically. And somehow in Demotic, it becomes that. Okay, all right. Let's scroll a little bit because nothing else is visible. Okay, I'll have to cheat on those because I don't know what they are. Um, the next one apparently is Getter. I'm looking at the website now.
Hmm.
And how do you break this down? The first one is nah, a dotted H,
Yeah.
and the rest is a little bit more tricky. Apparently, that is a ligature for T and R.
Yeah. So it's sometimes we've had it's maybe this if we sort of break this, so if it's an arch and then two vertical strokes, that can be an S maybe, or how does the S look again? The uniliteral S, doesn't that look? I mean, this is ter. I'm just trying to compare to what
Oh, I
we
see what you're
already
thinking.
know.
You're thinking of
Yeah.
the one that comes from Sa. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that comes from SAS. So it could be S, but it can also be ter, right? And as you say, it's the ligature of T and R, and then the last stroke is the sort of. I have to look it up because I can't describe it. But if we do hotter, well, here we see the meaning as well. Right, so it has the emphatic H, as you say, the dotted H, and then you had TR, and then the sort of final lines here is that maybe renpet or that sort of stem there with the R underneath.
And ter, as in
Ter, which is also ter. Yeah.
mhm. And then also interesting, if you look on the left, next one over, there's like a version of the generic animal determinative, the one with the long tail. If you go like one character to the left, interesting. Okay, but that's not what we have here. We have something that looks more like the abstract determinative at the end. Okay.
Where were we? Here, yeah.
Yes, there we are. Gette, traditionally horse. Now, if we just talk about the army, it makes sense to assume this refers to the cavalry. And then the next word is ba-i-r-e or biri. And if we look that up, that is the fleet.
Right, that is a fleet.
Okay.
I can look it up, but the Baris ships. I don't know what Baris ships are, but okay.
Oh, Baris ships. No kidding. That's what that word is. Supposedly, so the story goes that our barge, like a barge on a river or something, that supposedly comes from Baris, which in turn comes from Egyptian. However, the spelling here had made me think that this was some kind of imported word, some kind of loan word itself. I have no idea.
Hmm.
Then again, there are some words, at least in Late Egyptian, I don't know enough about Demotic yet, but at least in Late Egyptian, you have some words that turn, like they go from regular orthography to syllabic orthography for no
Hmm.
apparent reason. And I think this may also happen in Demotic, where something that has a good standard orthography suddenly becomes something different. There you go.
Is this the
Um,
case? Is this type of syllabic orthography? I mean,
it
the
is.
word is
It clearly
vir.
is. Mhm.
Okay.
This is like basically you have way too many consonants there, right? When you think about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, this looks like this is how you would typically write, say, a Semitic loanword. Um, I just don't know if it
Okay.
is. No idea. Because sometimes an example for that is the word for flower. In Coptic, it becomes Herere, and that has a good Middle Kingdom spelling, but then later it's written like as if it were a loan word for whatever reason.
Hmm. Th- Okay.
Okay, but enough money, right? Let's go back to our. So he had made that the army, the fleet, and the cavalry go what? Ugh. What is this?
This is a uniliteral at least.
This is a what? I'm sorry.
Sorry, unilateral. Just this first one.
Oh, it's an U.
It's an U.
It's a complicated W. Okay. And then?
Uba. Yes. I don't know why. We can check it because you haven't had this. It's a apparently a regular, a quite normal preposition, but we haven't had it so far.
No, we haven't.
Opposite.
Opposite,
Against.
Yeah. Uwe. To do something against somebody would also use uwe. That's right. Okay, cool. Doesn't look very much like this, but okay. All right. So uba.
Let me just scroll a bit.
Uba.
Okay, so we are here.
Okay, uba. Then there's some article and eir. So presumably again talking about some people who have done something. So I'm going to guess na. Na eir. Na eir, that's e again. So those who have come against those who have come.
How do I write this?
Yeah. This could be an N or an R. I'm going to go with N. N pa ut. That's just some kind of location.
Right.
At, not ut. Okay. N pa at. Okay. Pa at. N pa at. This is another pa, isn't it?
Yes, we have no coordination.
Okay. All right. And pa yes something. Help.
Yeah, M, Yom.
Yom. Ah, so the C.
The C.
Does the little dot after the M still belong to that?
Yeah. Yeah, this is sort of nothing, or like a space-filling dot according to the DPDP, and then this is supposed to be like the 2 number, and it's the determinative for canals and water. It's the same we see in Wab.
Okay.
Or in Yom. Yeah. So yeah, this is the one we supposedly have in the Rosetta Stone.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So here's another Canaanite loanword. Yam, the ocean.
Ah, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like in Hebrew. Same word.
Okay.
Also the word that's where the Fayum is coming from. Originally,
Yeah, right, Fayum.
It's the same yam.
Fayum.
Fayum, that's right.
I think we can go a bit further. Yeah.
That is an eir. I'm pretty sure. Ar-ir. So again, some kind of
ir. Okay.
And the next one is tricky. The first one could be an aleph. And it's something with aleph and the falling man.
Yeah.
The thing in between could be different things. Could be an S.
I think it's a word that means, I think it is ah. This can also be the number 2, the 2-like sign can also be emphatic H.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, fight is the word.
Okay. That's the good old Achan. Oh, so this used to be, so that's an interesting one, just in terms of, that's a good example for what I was just talking about, that words can get completely respelled. I mean, Acha used to be that shield with two hands sticking out of it, fighting basically. And it has an iron at the beginning. So
used to look like this.
Exactly. And if you look at the different spellings, if you just scroll down, sorry. That's fine. I don't think this is ever spelled alphabetically. It's always with that shield and 2 arms. It's always
Yeah, you're right.
that very iconic sign. And then if you go to Demotic, it's respelled alphabetically. And to make matters worse, it's not even spelled with an ein, it's spelled with an aleph, which could be a good
Mm,
indication that the sound ein by this point in time had basically merged with the glottal stop, if there was anything at all. Otherwise, why would you spell an aleph bird here? So that's actually kind of interesting.
mm, mm.
All right.
Awesome. Okay.
So let's see what we do with
Uh,
all of that. So Iref Nebuneb Erdi Shem. So he took every care to let the army, the cavalry, and the fleet go, Shem, right? Go against Uwe, Na Eir I, those who had come, En Pa At is what side?
At means a shore or a
Sure.
river bank, but it means the land, basically, land.
Okay. So from the land or from the shore, is that off the sea?
No, it's there should
Oh,
be
and the
like
sea.
coordination.
Got it. And the
Mm,
sea. Ir ach, to literally to make fight. In other words, to fight.
mm. And then you can just do this, just this last sign here.
Wait. Ir, wait, I'm lost. Ir ach. That is again our UB, our WBA, our UBA.
Yes,
UBA came against Egypt.
that's right.
All right.
Thank you. So yeah, that's it, I guess. Let me see. There was one thing I thought was interesting is this. It begins with. It's very difficult to navigate all these signs. Where did we start? Uh, here is the UBA we've had. This
Yeah,
is the fleet. Okay,
right.
so we started here. We had this expression of to do great care
Mhm.
a few lines ago, but as a sort of circumstantial clause.
Right.
Here we go. It's here. EUF iri nebuneb we had here. So I was just interested. We can think about it at some other point, but why do we have a circumstantial clause here, which to me seemed to start something, a new thought, and why is it a regular SEGMF down here?
Mhm. I mean, one thing that would really make sense after we've gone through a larger portion of text is to break out the demotic in kind of in like periods. What I mean by that is often they are kind of coordinated. For example, the first sentence would say Chenef, he commanded, blah, blah, blah. And then the second sentence would be something like, and he abandoned, however you say that, we have or something, whatever the verb was that we used there. So you have these pairs of sentences. And I mean, like that's a common thing, right? Parallelism in literature to as a organizing principle. I think we'll probably see similar things if you went down the lines, and then it should become clearer when they use like a SHMF to start, or when they use
Mm,
all these other constructions. I've tried that for a few paragraphs. That's why I think it's going to work. Uh, so
okay.
it's not as messy as it looks when you're trying to do them one chunk at a time. There's a little bit more
Mm,
structure to it.
okay, so we have to look sort of at the bigger picture, that maybe there's a greater sense transition here than there was there's a greater break in a way here than there was up here,
Yeah,
possibly.
or maybe like a period. And he did this, and then he did that. He also did
Okay.
this, and then he did that. So yeah, some kind of parallel structures basically, but without repeating the exact same word. They're not going like
Mm,
Genef. That would be boring. Why would you do that?
yeah. Okay. Thank you. So this time we have some hieroglyphs again. I will maybe not. Maybe we can use Spiegelberg's version that doesn't have the Greek. It's not as good. So we begin here.
Hello.
Hello, Erin. Let me see. Let me just organize my screen a bit because okay, I'm ready.
So Irit and F,
In
Mech, Is,
okay, sorry.
Her D,
Her,
Ma'a, I guess.
yeah, is it written like this? Yeah, I think so.
Ma'a with walking legs. I don't know what that is.
It just be Moshe to walk? I have no idea, but just from the way it's spelled.
We'll
don't
come
know.
back to that.
Yeah.
And then, this sign I can never remember. I always confuse it with the one that's the other way around. Is it Sesh, Shes, Shen? It's one of those.
Yeah, I always confuse them as well.
Shes.
What are we expecting here to happen, actually? He took care to cause something. Yeah, so walking might make sense, actually, or going. It was the Shem that we had in demotic. And then here we want the nouns, the army, the cavalry, the fleet, all that.
Is this
Yeah,
some
I
kind of
don't
word
know.
for army with the the A1 man and the plural strokes next to it? Those must go together.
Yes. Could this be Mesha? Or that doesn't?
I can't imagine that little loop being.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this one though.
Okay. Sem.
Sesam.
And then I'm assuming that's a determinative. Whew. I don't know how to say this.
It must.
Beck.
Hmm?
Beck. I don't know. Kebnu. I'm not sure. I mean, it's like a K with a B stacked on it and then a new pot. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Something.
This is difficult stuff.
M. Is it Nedge?
Isn't there a verb like
Edge
chesef or something like
SF,
this?
yeah.
Oh, Hesef.
Chesef.
Okay. Oh, Hesef. Of course. Yep. Neket? N?
N. I don't know what that N, how that works with this, but this maybe is
E.
E, right? E. Okay. I don't know if that's if we are done with sort of a sense unit or if we move on. Maybe we can stop here. Yeah, that would make sense, I think.
Okay. Ir. Not sure about this guy. Herkamet, obviously.
Yeah, let's try that. Chem. So what are we missing then? It's the we're missing. So Semsem, does that mean cavalry?
It must. I mean, it makes sense with that
It must.
determinative.
Yeah. Let me see then. What is the Egyptian or the Middle Egyptian equivalent of Moshe, for example?
Yeah, I would expect a verb in that spot, the first
Okay.
one. And I mean, there is a verb that comes actually that may be related to the word for army, meshah,
Yeah.
to march.
Something like
Oh.
this.
Now, Could that ever be spelled in such a weird way?
It's Ptolemaic. Of course, it can be
Anything goes.
spelled in a weird way.
Anything could,
What is
right?
this? What is this?
Oh, hey.
True. Although I'd like to see a ma in there somewhere, which we have. We have a ma. Of course, with lots of other consonants that don't belong there, but it's possible that by this point in time,
Ma.
So
So all
is
of
that all
this,
one word? Yeah, guess so.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. So the first one would be just the first one would be to walk, and the second one would be the army.
just this, because I think we need the equivalent of Shem. We need he's letting them march or
Right.
walk. And
Oh, I
then
got
we
you.
have the three nouns: army, cavalry, fleet.
That would make
And
sense.
according to this spelling, at least it could work just to be written like this.
So that would be the army, then you're saying.
Yeah, and if we actually look up an army in Demotic, I think it also has this. Usually, if I can find.
Usually it's that man with the
Yeah, okay. Forget what I said. Like here, maybe there we have the little cloth or the little loop thing.
true.
Anyway,
And we think the
okay, so we
Samsung
have
is basically those are the Samsung.
this an animal.
And it's a verification pending animal.
Yeah, I mean it has to be horse or cavalry. We could send them a message. It's not just an animal.
Hang on, I found something. Look for SESM.
How do you spell that?
SSM.
SSM. Aha.
There you go. That's it. I think that's also Canaanite again.
Okay. So
there it is.
yeah, this is what we have.
This is what we have. So that is, I just found it as an Ichrais Kusemut, the overseer of the horses. So that's what they're using. So one down,
Okay. Fantastic.
a few more to
Great.
go. So and they
And
misspelled
this,
it some. Oh yeah, now we need the fleet, huh? Or the navy. Oh,
so we have a K, we have a B, and we have an N.
so how many permutations?
Yeah. I vote
What
for
if I
starting with
write,
the B. It's got to start with the B because that feels
can I
like
do
makes
this?
sense.
If I write fleet in translation? No,
I
that
tried
doesn't
that
work.
already. I tried it for Davy too. That doesn't do it.
Okay.
Bacon. Bacon is a nope. Bacon is actually not a good word.
Now we're desperate here. No, it shouldn't be N first. It should be KVN or something. No, I don't know.
Then of course the question is, what is this being reconstructed from, right? Like, oh wait, we have some help on that.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, right. Moshe. Okay, sorry, I didn't understand. Of course, Moshe comes from Mesha. Okay, now I get it. It is
That was the word I
Moshe.
was thinking of, but writing
Yeah.
that with a ma'a would be kind of adventurous in my mind. But what do I know? To Aaron's point, it's Ptolemaic. What do you expect?
It's Chinatown.
Yep, something like that. Let me see if I can find that page. Would really love to see what it says there on the original stone. How much is that? He doesn't say if it's interpolated or not. So, oh, there we go. Let's look at that. Thank you.
It doesn't have anything. It has something here for the. Yeah, it just says what Nobilis Steely has, so he's corrected it into this. But it doesn't say anything for the fleet, for example.
Hmm.
Maybe. What about
Maybe
Armada?
Armada, I can try, and you never know.
Think of other words for a fleet.
Oh, Armada. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no luck. Maybe let's move on, and we can come back to it
Fair enough.
later. So what comes after then, Aaron?
Chasef, and I can't remember what Chasef means. I know that word.
Is it protect or something? What is it?
Oppose, repel.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, so
Repel.
repel. He repelled their coming. The coming.
yeah. Mchesef. So in the
Mm-hmm. In repelling. Mm-hmm.
And in repelling, and
Repelling of those coming? Question mark.
yeah.
okay, so we could take it as a participle.
Mm-hmm.
Mchesef, but I don't like the fact that N is sort of under the arm. I don't know.
Oh, that's normal. That's okay.
Okay. Mchesef and E.
I found the ship. It's Byblos boat.
It's what?
A Byblos boat.
A Byblos boat.
How do I?
KBN.T.
Huh.
Wow, thanks.
Look at that.
Hey, wow.
Awesome.
How did you find that?
Yeah.
I just tried every possible combination of those letters till you cracked it. Well done.
We should have used the star. We should have done the
Yeah.
combination.
But if
Always
you,
use the star.
if you
Always
type
use the star.
if you type Keben, it doesn't come up. So you have to
Exactly.
type
But that's
Keben
because
star. Oh, that's so
Oh,
annoying.
that's so annoying.
Oh no, it comes
then you
up.
get.
Look at
Really?
that.
Oh, it's the one iteration I didn't try.
Yes, it's the one we didn't try. Okay.
Keben. There you go.
Huh.
A Byblos
But what
boat.
is a Byblos ship then?
Apparently a big one. It's just a large naval vessel in the German version and the
Yeah.
French one. Wow. Okay. Very cool.
So they use very fancy word in the Ptolemaic part, I think. Okay, great. And then we have just this last part here.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with this guy with the stick after ear?
Yeah, right.
I would say hui to strike.
Oh, it's his own word. Okay, ear.
Maybe we look it up in the TLA. I think you can.
So those repelling those coming to strike out against Egypt is what he
That's
said.
right. I think that's what it is.
Upon Egypt, yeah.
But let's check the
Attackers.
hui. Let's make sure I have that right. But if we look in the TLA, I think that is
Is it an H2?
yeah, it's an H2.
I don't know. Maybe just
Hui, yeah, that's it. That will work. Happy song.
Yeah.
Okay, so that did not work. Wonderful. Maybe just look for strike then.
Because sometimes they use another I for the weak
Right.
verbs. That maybe if I use a regular I, wait a minute.
It's actually already there under who. Yeah,
Okay, but this is the one I think.
I think so. That's it. And I think you can just abbreviate it to the striking man because I've seen that in hieratic. There you go.
But we have an I. We had something. What about this then?
That could just be other two.
Yeah. Okay. And Chesef and EU. So just R maybe?
That makes sense.
And then here we had who, e.
I think we could do the last two as well. It still belongs to the same sentence.
You mean these two?
And this and like to the end of the line.
Okay.
How do you pronounce the little uterus thing?
It's an M.
M.
It's an M? Oh,
Ptolemaic M.
Yeah, it's an M.
of course it is. Why not? So MD?
M. D, like this.
Metet
Me.
and Wedgwood. Metet.
I don't know, but yeah. M.
I don't know.
Waj. Where?
So, D. This is a place. I don't know how to translate it.
I don't know what deed
It's
is.
a place.
Must be with
Yeah,
the
oh, you mean-
affirmative. Yeah.
Okay, let's see then if we can find something.
I mean, it almost looks like the word dime, town.
Yeah,
But it's, of course, it's short of a
then-
me.
Yeah.
because this is the part that's supposed to mean on land and in the sea.
It seems like it.
But how could it be missing the me? I don't see that.
Maybe that's where the M, that maybe it's just med D instead of demi. I don't know why.
Can D be spelled with the city as a determinative?
Yeah, I pressed wrong. I want to see. Let's see. No.
It always has the. So that's not it. MD. MD is weird.
If I write land, I don't know.
You sort of know what it's supposed to mean, right?
Yeah, it's sort of saying by land or by sea, you know.
Right. Is it one if by land and two if by sea or something? What was that? The poem again?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Oh, Massachusetts, like the British are coming.
Okay.
Long time ago. Not this long though.
Okay, but we have MD mittet. What does mittet mean here? Like as
like-
well as?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Something as well as by sea.
The
Great Green, right? Wajwer, the
Yeah.
Great Green.
Great Green. The Mediterranean. Yeah, that's a bit dissatisfying that we don't know what the MD. I mean, we know what it has to mean.
Yeah. Should we move on? See if we
Yeah.
can get a few, maybe one line of Greek in, and then we can come back to it.
Sounds fair.
I think we figured a lot out. It's good. So where was I? Let me see. So here we are. We begin at this verb here. Who do I have? Yep.
Okay, so the first sequence is a verb, proenoithe, proenoethe. Yes, and then we have the familiar dekai. And we can explain already that this proenoethe is, what is it? It is aorist passive. And the verb is pronoeo, which means think in advance, that is plan. And so he also planned. And then we've got a secondary clause introduced with hopos, kind of final clause. And then we've got another verb finite form, exapostalosin. So this is subjunctive, so that there be sent out. So this is a compound verb again with double preverb, ex, apo, so out and from, so that there be sent out. Verb is stelo, to send. And here when we say intransitive, to be sent, and passive, apostalosin, to be sent out. And then we need to find the subject to this, right? Where are we? Yeah, and the subject is dynames, so plural form, nominative of head, dynamis. What would you say? That's power, manpower, or troops, basically. And then you've got these qualifications that would sort of hippikai, cavalry, troops, and then you'd have tekai, which is a particle, connective particles that go together, tekai, and then you've got the pesikai, which is like the hippikai, it qualifies dynames. So that would be infantry. And then you've got kai, and then you just have a simple noun, nees, ships. And then you've got a prepositional expression that would tell you against whom, epi, that is the preposition. And then you've got accusative plural participle, I think, yes, of the verb eperchomai, to attack, to come against. But then you've got an article as well, tous epelthonta, so those who attacked.
And then we go to the next time.
Yes, and then you got again the same preposition, epi. Yes, and then another accusative, but this time accusative singular, ten, femininum, Aegypton, so that would be Egypt. And one observation about the Greek, that here we see the koine, epi plus accusative instead of epi plus dative. That would be the classical Greek, to go against, to attack someone. And then you've got basically where from, and then this is articulated in a prepositional expression again, kata, which takes accusatives, ten thalasan, kai ten gen, but then you've got the tekai this time split between the two nouns, kata te, ten thalasan, so both from the land and from continent. Kai, ten, Hepiron. Yes. Classical Greek it could be kata ten gan, but then here it's used. It's a more rare noun used, hepiros, continent. Are there any questions up to know is that was so basically we have the dynames, the troops, the powers, let's say, manpower, and then it's being qualified as hippikai kai pesikai. And I don't know, kainees could be like directly parallel to dynamis. So troops of cavalry and infantry and ships. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense and very parallel to the other two.
Very parallel. So what I was going to say is really well articulated this time. Okay, that's all we have time for. Stop share. So unless there's anything else, then we meet again in a week, and I will try and fix the documents, and next week we can start with the drawing again, so it's less cluttered.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Only thing I can add is I was trying to take a look at the stela in between, and it's pretty much really like we have it on the page. This is not some kind of bastardized reconstruction that failed, but it really, for example, has the MD double reed leaf T city. So there's some word here that we don't know, but at least it's not because of a mashup or something. Unless the original writer made a mistake, of course. But for the moment, I'd assume we just don't know what the word is.
Okay. Great. So if anyone figures anything out, then you shout out in Discord, and see you in a week then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.